Good morning, welcome to day one of the Australian Ultimate Championships. This is game 2 for the day. This is our special extra stream brought to you by ULTI.TV this morning. My name is Oakley Mullet. I'm joined here by Phil Shields. We have Wollongong Krank coming up against Sunder Slice, both New South Wales teams. Phil, you saw Krank also take out the win against I-Beam this morning.
Yeah, there's been a little spoiler alert there. But it was a good game. It was a good game. It was probably came out a little bit as expected. This Krank team have a long roster, actually, as does Sunder Slice at the moment. So this would be a good one. It's quite close in their matchups as well. I believe it's 6 versus 7 as well. So this should be a really good close match. A bit of a cracker there. Krank at 6, Slice at 7. As we see, Krank have the first pull of the game, and Slice working it up nice. Slice is in blue, working up the field left to right, and doing a lot of small ball at the moment, but doing very well at it as the disc comes to 68 in the middle of the field. Just a lot of swing at the moment, finding a few holes, almost a D going on there, and we have a score. Slice comes out with the first score of the game, and just trying to look for who that was at the moment. I can't quite get the name there, but that was nice, easy work up the field by Slice, so well done. Let's see if we get a game where everyone holds serve or not.
That's right, Phil. It's going to be very interesting to see how Krank goes in this game, because they did play that early morning time slot, whereas Slice didn't have to. So maybe Krank will be starting off on the back foot, but they did play some good defense there. It was number 19, so Nick Lally getting the assist from Slice there. They were very happy to work that one down the field, took lots of options, used the width of the field. There we see again, nice inside break backhand there. And John O'Keefe, thanks for standing right in front of the camera.
Yeah, it makes our life easy, doesn't it?
That was great, like that.
So early days, but no turns. Let's see what happens for the rest of this game. Look, we're here in Adelaide, sunny Adelaide. Looks a little bit overcast, but this is beautiful for the players. The fields are just scrumptious. They're to die for, nice and green. They're not wet at all, no rain, but we had rain earlier in the last couple of weeks. So it's all dried out, lovely markings. We don't have game advisors in this game at the moment, but we're looking at Krank as they work it up the field, and they're just swinging it. Nice inside break at the moment as we get Flavel moving it up the sideline. Just currently in the hands of Webster, moving it to the far side. No wind to speak of as well here. That goes over nicely to Faulkner. Faulkner looks inside, comes more towards the middle as Keys gets it and flows it on. Go back to himself. So Keys with the assist going to Webster, and Krank even the score up 1 apiece. We're still on serve.
Solid holds from both teams there at the start, and I think that's really what you've got to do, especially for Slice being their first game of the day. You've got to hold strong on these ones. Not having any quick little turnovers, little throwaways where those nerves can set in.
Absolutely.
Krank having that earlier game this morning did get some of those jitters out. We did see some, from both teams in that earlier game, some little turnovers in the start, get those jitters out, but now Krank have come out strong, and they're kind of steamrolling through on the role that they had at the tail end of that first game, and that might play into their advantage. They're just going to keep going on through playing that really great Frisbee that they had and clench down, clean offense, and then we might see an early break.
I totally agree with you with that point about getting that first game out of the way, having that first game sort of jitters in there. Also near the end of that first game, again, spoiler alert, we did see a lot of tiredness creep in, both mentally and physically. Even though they've got a long roster, we saw a lot of simple dropped catches, a few throwaways, missed passes that just crept in about the last 3 points. And that happened for both teams there. And that can happen in any game, but let's see how this game develops as we get the pull coming down to Slice. Slice happy just to bring it up, and a bit of a slow rundown. We've got what looks like a horizontal going on from Slice.
Oh,
and
again.
quite a bit of a sandwich there from Lavis, but he managed to just pull it down, get it back. Lavis gets it back, centres it again, as we see potential swing continuation at the moment. As it goes from side to side, bang, bang. Nice little reach up, pulls the ladder out to grab that one. Back to the centre, and we're just over the halfway mark at the moment. That's a nice looking run in there.
With Lally now, Brayden Cheng doing a lot of work through the centre of the field. Gan coming back now. Nice inside there to Lally. Oh, backhand straight out to Dang. That was beautiful there. I hope we can get this replay on this pass here from Alex Gan. We had Nick Lally breakside dump to Alex Gan, and then as Lally has gone almost like into the break space, a beautiful inside backhand to Lally, which put him in the break side. No defender could float the backhand out. So we see here that dump. Lally comes through that inside there, which puts the break side absolutely free for Dang.
Textbook.
Oh, clinical, and I love seeing when you have like amazing throwers who push the envelope on that. That closing window on that inside flick is really, really hard to hit, but when you have such pinpoint technical amazing throwers, they make it look so easy.
Absolutely. I expect to see a lot more of that from Lily as well, I think, through the course of this match.
Well, second assist for Nick Lally there already. 2 goals, 2 from 2. Watch him go. I have a feeling we're going to be saying that name multiple times throughout this commentary today, Phil. Nick Lally is going to come up multiple times.
MVP of the tournament, maybe?
You're calling it early. Calling it early. Come.
I don't know if that was a call so much as a comment, but hey.
We'll circle back on the end of the day and end of the tournament.
I'll change my mind if and when appropriate.
So John O'Kee's centering it. Krank looking like they're going for a bit of a hoe stack, but there's a bit of a poach there. Back to Keys. He's fine Flavel on the middle of the field. Back to Keys. Nice give go. Bit of a loose mark, but taking... Oh, Keys has just grabbed the ankle. Was there a call downfield? Maybe...
I didn't see anything. Doesn't mean there wasn't, though. Tapped back in. Nice around by Keys.
Floated up nicely there to Faulkner. He's engaged on O'Keefe. That's very nice dump mark. He hasn't got many options. Turnover there, Edmund Fung.
As Slice continue this, Fengs gets the disc back, passes off to Lau, down the centre.
Beautiful
and
inside.
That's a nice score there.
Just
9-2.
Try and get the replay. It happened
28, I think.
Very quickly. See if we can get that replay up.
So tentatively, that was Tran to Jambi. Let's see it now.
So you can see the D there. The outside in flick just had too much under it, and the edge caught. We see that there. Nice inside there to Wilson Tran. Oh, sorry, Dennis Tran. Yeah. Dennis Tran with the assist there. Great heads up D from Feng there. He wasn't like, he was marking front of stack, which realistically speaking would have had majority of his back to the disc in that regard.
He must have been thinking that this is his lucky day.
This is
that
it.
one
He can
landed
get it
in
here.
his lap.
Yeah, and Faulkner went to throw the outside flick to try and bring the shape to bring it back in. But I think what you can't see on the stream right now is the direction of the wind, which is, it's not massive, but it's blowing slightly towards us here in the commentary booth. So in doing so, he put a little bit of lip on it, and the winds picked it up over the dump's head.
So that was the first break of the game. Could have quite easily been 2-all, but now it's 1-3 to Slice. So they take a little bit of a lead early as Krank now looking to play a little bit harder, get a break back themselves to level that score, even it out a little bit. As Krank now stuck on that halfway line. Disc is in hand of Ryan. Goes down the sideline, looking for something, knocking on the door almost. Goes backwards to Keys. Keys sending it back. Goes to Faulkner. Faulkner on the sideline. Nice hand in the air defensively. Sending it back again. Not making a lot of space or room
Tim Booth
here.
finally getting involved.
So Booth a little bit MIA until then.
Keys now. Oh, puts up a beautiful flick to Flavel. Jono Keys did a lot of heavy lifting in that. I think he got every second disc just about.
He did.
I think one of the impressive things to note in that passage of play was that Krank weren't scared to concede ground to maintain possession. And if that was the easy open throw, they took it. We saw frequently a few times Faulkner on the high side of the field, on the far opposite sideline, and turned around and dumped back, and they might have conceded 5-10 metres on that. But in doing so, they opened up the close side, the break side of the field, where you saw where they were able to hit Boothie and a few other people down this sideline and then work it back, which opened up then that bigger round shot there to Wes Flavel for the score.
Yeah, that Keys to Flavel making good use of that back space in the end zone, giving himself a lot of room to catch that in. Nice touch on the disc as well.
And I think, coach there, Wollongong Krank coach, they say running off the field, Yukiya Yamaguchi, Japanese native. The Japanese have a very well known for utilising the break side of the field. I think she probably had a big part in that and in the passage of play and the training involved in not just pushing the down the field option, conceding it, taking the break side space, because then you open the field up more.
Well, we've just getting gusts of wind right now, and that's coming towards us. It's probably from the far side of the field towards us and a little bit, maybe slightly right to left, but ever so slightly more across field at the moment. That just went through the hands, running strongly onto the disc that time, but through the hands, straight through the hands, as Krank now get the disc back. They're looking for their turn at getting their own break, just to level the scores up. They'd love to do this at this point in the game. They don't want Slice to get too far ahead.
So Krank now just at the brick mark, making very good use of the width of the field, or almost puts it up but doesn't. Hudson there, straight back to the... Oh, nice break side! Oh, that was a beautiful throw. Caught there by Conway. And I think the assist was from Jake Upton, if we can just...
That's what I saw, Upton to
get
Conway.
the replay. But you see the bidding... I didn't quite catch who the Slice defender
and look at
was
that. We'll
there.
see that a bit more.
Tom Bissett there on the field. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I might have to ask him.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
You see the turnover here, the throwaway, well, not the throwaway from M. Hodgson, just the kind of cold drop there straight through the hands. It did have a nice float to it, but it did drop right as it was being received.
And
Krank picked it up and moved it very quickly. So we see Upton here. Gets it back very quickly, and the defender. Oh, the defender was caught on the open side, so it just gave him free range of that open backhand, because the defender was getting back up off the ground, gave him free range of that backhand.
Oh,
great heads
close.
up D from Alex Gann in recognising and just bidding and trying to do it anyways.
It's like what I really love about the defensive effort is that he was watching the hands and the movement of the man he was marking basically, and didn't have eyes on the disc and just really went for it there. Brilliant awareness just to do that.
Exactly. Break back from Krank, so we're back on serve now, which keeps this game nice and interesting. So good pull from Krank. Get it moving quickly. Latamatos in the centre of the field. Keeps it to the high side. Dish it again. Wanted to go try and get it down the line again. Kept it alive by Tran there. Backed again. It's really kind of getting Gan right on the end zone line. Everyone's going into that space. Is he gonna cram it in? Finds Chen, gets off the line. Nice swing now. Steps the inside, can't quite hit it. There's Tran. Back to Gan in the center. Lily coming through, not hitting him. There's Cheng again. Almost wanted to hit, but didn't. Gan, Latamatos on a nice crossfield. Scuba over top. Scuba to Mark McClay there.
So that was nice work by Sunder Slice there in the end. Almost got themselves into trouble on that far knocking at the end zone when they had a stack of players just congesting that, and they had to reset it, bring it out again, set that one up, and a lovely scuba at the end, very cheeky, just to establish that point. You can see there, cheeky over the top there, nice high-rise leap there, and fantastic point by Slice and McClay.
Don't see scubas very often at this level, Phil. It's not,
especially that lazy. I mean, look at, like, that just had a ton of air time. Wasn't one of those flat ones you can often see, but hey, if it works, it works.
And I think with this wind, it actually kept it up enough for him to get under it.
Actually worked in their advantage in this play, but I wouldn't suggest it. But hey. Good work from Slice, scores 4-3.
Don't make a habit of throwing the scoobs, but if you are Alex Latamatos and you can pull it off, why the hell not?
We'd just like to take a little bit of time while we're waiting for this pool to thank all of our subscribers, and we are very, very happy to have you on board. We've got this extra stream just for you, so thank you very much for your support. Hope you enjoy this Australian Ultimate Championships here at Adelaide, and this stream specially for you.
Well, we were just talking about the impact that the wind can have, and that it is getting a bit blowy and gusty at times, and I think that is the prime example of that.
Absolutely.
We didn't see brick pull of the game.
Didn't see any bricks in that first game, Krank versus I-Beam. But straight up, we've had our first pull that goes out of bound. They're electing to go to the brick mark. As you'd expect, they don't want to take it on the low side. They want to try and make sure it stays on the high side. So expect a lot of the discs being thrown away. The top of the screen is the high side, as you guys see it.
Keys jacks it up. He's always picked his defender. Good job, Jono Keys.
Keys to Webster.
Making quick work of that. Thomas Webster. I don't know if you saw it, Phil, but there was a little cheeky bumpy bump on that box out.
Nothing wrong with that at this level.
I mean, it's up to the players, right? Although Ultimate Frisbee is a non-contact sport, there is incidental contact involved, and it's up to the individuals to negotiate what level of contact they will accept.
Players, ultimately, it's up to them to call their own infractions, and yeah, you can see that just there, but I think that's all above board at the end of the day. And Krank just wanting to establish themselves with this one-pass play to end the point quickly. They want to get this game over and done with, and this is the way they want to do it.
I mean, if you're going to pick a matchup as well, there was a pretty significant height mismatch.
Exactly.
On that there. If you're going to send someone deep, send your big boy who's got the gains.
Now, if we see that all day long, it might get a bit of a boring game, but hey, do it as often as you need to, I think, to keep things exciting and on your side.
Interesting thing to note about this game is that we are seeing majority of the scoring towards the right of field right now, whereas this morning we actually saw the majority of the scoring happening on the opposite end. Gan, Lally, seeing those two be the very core group. Chen to Lally, moving it quickly back to Gan. Gan's got it there. Moving it quickly again. Gan on this close side. Oh, threads the inside flick to Cheng. Gan toes it in.
Great line awareness there. Knew what he was doing, asking for a little bit of a hop skip change and make sure it foots over the line for the score. Sunder slice 5 to Wollongong Krank 4. What do you think of the way they worked that up the field and eventually got that in?
They moved it very quickly, and I was mentally trying to figure out as I was watching this point unfold, are they playing match or was Krank playing a zone? Because there were a lot of defensive players in the space, but it was very unclear if they were trying to play match or if they were trying to get a cup or something to set. But because the disc just moved so quickly, there was never the opportunity to set.
And I love the way he threaded that one, actually. That was just beautiful. There were potential defenders there that could have got it, but it was slick, it was nice and low, it was sharp, it was direct, it was on a wire, and that really created this goal, that second to last pass that we had there. Here we see it. They're on the line at the moment. But I think that really set that up. Nice central disc, gives that thrower a lot of options.
Absolutely. And we've seen it before. Alex Gan threading those flicks in, so he's got the arsenal to do it, and he's got the confidence right now to thread those types of throws. So if you can do them, absolutely continue to hit them. Forker in the centre, dishes quickly to John O'Keefe. Flavel down this sideline. Boothie's going deep. Oh, he fakes it but doesn't put it. I think that's Webster there. Oh, there is a call of some kind that we missed.
I missed that one as well, sorry, apologies.
Yeah, so disc is with Webster on the sideline, but about in line with the brick mark. Disc coming on 3 as far as I can see. Keys going up the line. Oh, he just lips it too much and it's a turnover.
And I think it was Bray had the last hand on that one. So he'll get the fantasy points for that as Slice now look for yet another break. And we've got a long runner there. And that's a very easy run.
That was a very easy
that was
score.
Cheng, I believe. Gets the score.
Chen gets the score. Didn't see who the assist was. It was moved so quickly. Let's see if we can get that one up on the replay. That's James Bray with the assist there.
Cheng really just burning his opponent there, and
in a paddock of space.
Like, there's no player at all within cooey of him.
And one of my favourite things about those types of Ds where it's happened very quickly is the ability of the downfield to recognise and switch on immediately and provide that option, because it doesn't even necessarily be that you have to hit that option. As long as the option is there, you've stretched the field out, you've dragged one, maybe two defenders with you, or none in this instance, but then you can create space for everyone else. So great job there from Cheng. And as we just saw, if you hit the deep space and no one ends up following you, well, now you're an easy target.
I think the really smart play from Cheng to get that was that he started it from the extreme weak side. The disc was on the strong side, obviously that's the definition. But his defensive player just took his eyes off of him. He saw that and then just burst deep, came up with the disc at the end of the day. You make your chances, and he did that very well there.
Webster in the centre of the field there. Oh, Dishy quickly to Keys. Keys, absolute central to this offensive group right now. Faulkner, nice big gainer on the under there to Jones. Ryan on that top sideline. Ferguson now. Keys, Faulkner, Keys. Oh, bit of a shirt fronting there.
That's getting into football territory there at the moment. You can see he planted his feet as you'd see in basketball and charged down, but he had momentum and probably right of way to do that. You can't just block and stand in the way necessarily. If a person has momentum, you've got to give them a little bit of leeway to stop safely.
So we're back with Keys now to Booth. I think only his second time touching the disc this game. He's not doing a heap, but he's getting involved where he needs to with Ryan. He was looking for Flavel, but he couldn't get free. Ferguson there. Hammer over top to Faulkner.
And again, that was quite a lazy hammer over the top as well. He saw a lazy scuba at the other end. Lazy hammer over the top here. Not unwarranted. He had the height, needed to get over the mark, but still just making it look quite easy in the end.
I think I said it previously, Jono Keys is like anchoring this Wollongong offense and getting just about every second one. Give goes, or he'll clear downfield and then come back again.
So that might be something that Slice needs to address, especially if they have time. If they call a timeout during this first half, that's something they'll need to address, if not during the half-time break.
Absolutely, because it would be just very interesting to see what happened to the Krank offense, or what would happen to Krank offense if Keys was shut down. That was a great bid from Faulkner there, keeping that one alive.
So here, that hammer over the top for the score. Again, mile of space on the break side. Just floated away from his defender.
And the defender actually had given him quite a big buffer, probably not expecting that that was an option. Moving it quickly, Lally looking for an early dump there. To Honey, to Gan. Lally again, trying to move it quickly, but just got a bit stuck. Looks to Gan, but the very good dump mark there from Conway. Gets it off though, but only directly behind Lally. Quick give goes. Oh, smile on his face from Gan, enjoying that one. Nice break to Chen, hits Hodgson. Back to Chen, they're moving it very quickly. Hodgson now is assessing options. He puts an outside flick in. Does he get it?
That disc dropped quite severely. Had a bit of edge on it as well. The wind has died down, so it didn't either push it down or help it to travel either way. It just didn't have enough on it, and too much edge eventually causes that turnover. But a lovely layout bid to try and catch that.
Number 44 here, Yang. He did everything he could to try and keep that alive. So props to him there. I think Hodgson owes him a couple of beers later on. Now Krank trying to come back again. We've got Hodgson there. He wants to hit his break, but it's very covered. He wants to hit his dump. Oh, that's a spicy crossfield flick. It's received by Kobe Ryan, but I think, travel called on the throw.
I did not see that. See if we can maybe see that again.
Stall count of 6. A little bit of a blessing because the franticness gets to settle slightly. So he does the same thing, but just executes it a bit nicer there. Conway now. Oh, turnover, and they move it quickly.
Quick turn, unable to capitalise the way that they had hoped. But nevertheless, now things settled down a little bit. Slice moving up the high side. So have a man down who slipped in the middle there.
That's Kevin Dang, I believe.
Yeah, Dang's down. And he was grabbing his ankle, but he's not going to take the sub. So just testing that ankle gingerly. And see him down there on the field there.
Oh, it looks like there was a couple of kicked each other as the
there you go.
stack was sorting itself out. Another one down. So Yang now. Oh, he fakes the hammer, doesn't hit it. Alex Gann there. Lying on top of each other. Lally comes through. Alex Gann to Nick Lally there. It feels to me, Phil, that it's getting very frantic.
This is in quite a big contrast, I feel, to the first game, which I had the pleasure of commentating, which at times looked a bit more like a training run. This one here, you can see, bids like that, even just sort of like hopping over. There's a lot more going on in this game than there was in that first game. I think Krank will be feeling the difference as well. They wouldn't be used to that. They would have settled into the style of the first game. Now this has hit them, and that's why they're down a couple at the moment. They've got to adjust, and they've got to adjust quickly. Slice are not playing like I-Beam played in that first game. So Krank really have to adjust, and they have to do it quickly to not let this game get away from them.
And the interesting thing is, when we think back to the first couple of points with the way Krank was playing, a bit calmer, a bit more collected, and they were very happy to concede some ground on their dumps as well, if it meant that they got their dumps off and they could get their swings off. However, what we've seen in the past couple of points is that they've had to try and thread an inside flick through to the dump. They haven't had the options as readily available as they did before. Absolute credit to the Sunder defense, though, because they have realised that they do like that big, I think, arcing, dump into space, and they were happy to concede ground, that the dump has absolutely adjusted and come around to kind of take that away as an option. But they're still trying to force it slightly, and then they're creating turnovers because they haven't actually thought about what's the viable option now.
That's it, exactly. And I love the word you used before about frantic, and that really sums up the way I believe this Sunder Slice team is playing. They're playing frantically, but not in a negative way. You can see that they have every bit of much as hunger for the disc as the Krank team, but their play style is just totally different.
Keys now, big fake. Oh, high release backhand with Webster now.
Cramming that one in.
Boothie's winding it up, but there's a call or something, but we've got about 5 or 6 Sunder players on the sideline offering to give their perspective, which I don't know if you know Timmy Booth as well as I do, Phil, but I don't think he's going to be overly amenable to
taking
their
the
opinions
advice.
there.
Yes.
We're getting asked for a replay. We'll tell you what's happening here.
So here he sits.
What is the question? If it's in or out? What's the question here? There was no travel, if that was the question. What was the call?
We're looking whether it's in or not on the catch.
We're not getting the catch. We've got the replay of the wind up.
Unfortunately, we've got too low an angle there to see the catch. We see everyone over here trying to get a look at the replay.
We don't have that replay available. It looks like the pivot foot is in based off of the information that we have available. However, it looks like they've worked it out. It's going to be a foul uncontested after all of that, Phil.
I thought we had people pointing down towards the sideline.
Yep. I thought the question was it in or out? And now we're discussing, was it a foul?
As that was the one there.
There we go. Anyways, we're going. It's Faulkner now. Quick dump back to Keys. High release over to Webster. He got Boothie going down the side, but doesn't hit him. Keys going now, but Lally's in the space. Goes the hammer over top upstairs to Tim Booth and makes sure he toes that one in.
That one had everything.
No questions there about was he in or not.
I was holding my breath there for a moment. Just the way that hammer came down.
It didn't have the greatest path trajectory,
No,
that one.
It
did not have the greatest path.
You can see here, it's just about to go up. There it goes up. And you can see there
it did the helix. It did the double helix.
It did. And it's a hard one to read as well. Booth did well actually to bring that one in and read it, but he's very much capable of doing that any day of the week, but still it's fading away from you.
If you watch on this replay though, that was very smart offense from Tim Booth. He's gone up, he dumped it off,
cleared.
went for up the line, went for the around. Nick Lally stayed in that lane, that space, as because John O'Keefe attempted to do the same thing, but Lally was there. But Boothie had cleared to the back into a paddock of space by himself because his defender had stayed up close. So that was very, very smart play there from Tim Booth, and very well done from Ferguson there to see that and recognise that, and effectively Tim Booth was unmarked.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I didn't see who called this timeout. It'd be interesting to know who called it and why. We see.
I have a feeling this would have been called by Krank. They're down 6-7. And if they didn't call a timeout now, they're essentially, they're just potentially going to concede half here because Krank are coming out on defence on this one.
Absolutely makes sense, that call. So we'll see what Krank can pull out of their bag of tricks to see if they can get a couple of points in the row, play it point by point, get this one first, go to Galaxy, as we like to say in Ultimate Frisbee, where it'll be 7 apiece, and then the next point takes the half. Now let's see if Slice can stop that momentum or not.
All right, so Krank have to crank hard here. I'll try and get a few more of those out for you.
I don't know if I like those. I mean, I'm sure when Krank first formed, they had a lot of those going on.
I'm sure they did, but I like to keep it alive.
Keep it alive? Why not?
Got to get a D, though. They've got to get a D.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be down, a break or two.
What about if we have a slice of what Sunder's doing?
Well done. Thank you for coming to the table with that one.
That's okay. When in Rome.
So here we see Lally again, continuing to say their names frequently. Hodgson on the top sideline. Oh, he fakes the big, nice crossfield to Lally. On the close line now, hits the inside nicely. Hodgson, oh, he hits the deep space. It's got a little bit of lip on it. There's two defenders underneath it, but he gets it!
Read it like a book.
I'm so surprised. Two Krank defenders, and I think that was Braden Cheng, just managed to get up over top of both of them somehow. Neither defender really went for a bit on that one. How many times do we see that, though?
We've got two defenders making an offensive sandwich, and
is the expectation you go? Like, is the expectation that the other person's
I think I've seen that a few times, and that's what I've felt. It's like, I mean, there wasn't a jump there. I thought there was going to be a jump there by Diggins, but really didn't leave the ground at all.
Yeah, I mean, and I did say that when this throw came out, it had a lot of lip on it, but I think that worked in the
it angled in quite sharply. It came in quite quickly. I can see there again, just Diggins on that front position. Ended up just giving it away to the offensive receiver. And that's Slice taking half 8-6. So we'll leave it there and be back shortly after this break and messages.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
He's in a perfect spot. Yes, his massive head has blocked everything. That was a huge play, but we have seen none of it. Fitting. He's done it.
Yep.
Welcome back to this game. Sunder Slice up 8 against Wollongong Krank 6. We've had a very interesting first half, a few turns, a few breaks, but Slice coming out the victors on Phil Shields.
Thanks for that, Phil. I went and had a little chat with Wollongong Krank coach Yukie Yamaguchi during the break. Essentially, just spoke to her about like what is the message going to be? What's going to have to change here for Krank for them to stay in this game? And it was a very simple message for the most part, and it was essentially just bringing up the intensity, asking them to lift. They're doing a lot of the right things. The skills, the plays is there, the intention is there, but the intensity on which they are cutting and executing that isn't quite where it needs to be, and that's why there is those turnovers that are occurring because they are a bit more hotly contested than what she would like them to be. And if they can lift that intensity, take it to the next gear, then hopefully those easy tight contests are no longer because they've got the extra step or two ahead of the defender.
Yeah, now that makes sense from what we've seen. This Slice team have definitely brought a little bit more intensity to this game, and Krank definitely need to match that, I believe, if they're to get the points back that they need in order to take out the dub.
And so with that, it's been half-time. Krank coming out on offense though, which I think good for them in that regard, because there is nothing worse than when you're down a break and you come out of half on defense, is there, Phil?
Nothing worse, exactly.
So Krank now. We've got Ferguson. Oh, sorry, that's Webster. Faulkner. Oh, it's overthrows, but Flavel there to get the crumbs. Very well read. Ferguson there now. He goes the inside, looks to Flavel, can't hit him. Faulkner there goes a nice around to Faulkner. Flavel giving an option, Keys giving an option, but too many people cutting to the same space. There is no unders coming now. Ferguson provides one, but he wasn't looked there. We've got Jones. Jones looking for Keys. He goes up and around. Flavel providing a nice dump. There's Webster. Downfield's very stagnant.
It's very
and they're
static.
just, yeah, he's going again. Faulkner has to concede space, but they're happy to do so, and we've seen that they are happy to do that. Ferguson now, oh, whoa. Foul called there, so Edmund Feng, I think it was a bit of a late bid.
Yeah.
Bit of a late bid. Ferguson had caught it, tripped over, but accepted foul. Very nice break to Keys. And that's a hard throw into that gust of wind.
You saw the wobble on the disc, yeah, absolutely. I was
very
looking
well,
at
like
that.
the amount of spin that he would have put on that.
And if that wind becomes more of a factor, which I believe it probably will, as we can feel it now on our faces, then that could create a few more turns and a bit more trouble even for this Krank team.
Oh.
You can see there, even
Keys
just a bit
with
of a
the
bobble.
inside lefty backhand to Ferguson. Hitting the break side there to Jones. Score, that's a goal. Ben Cracknell getting involved in the game. I think the halftime message has worked. They lifted the intensity.
They did. They did. It wasn't as clean as I would have liked to have seen it, though. That's the thing. Like, that's why I had the pause to comment. I agree, but there's something in that was missing, and that was skill execution. Just making sure that all the basics stay the same and clean. It's that cleanliness, I think, that was missing in that lifting intensity.
Still remaining a bit frantic.
Yeah.
Like we had said earlier, they've lifted the intensity, but there is still a level of frantic.
And to be honest, it's not their game, you know, and so there's a bit of a mismatch between the mind and the hand in terms of let's be frantic, but let's keep it at our pace. You know, how do you handle that if you haven't practiced and rehearsed that enough?
And we see these types of things happen all the time, that when you are down and you know that the game's starting to draw close, that franticness sets in because you feel the pressure to try and score quickly. And so you actually stop playing the game that you had practiced to, that you had trained to, and you almost start playing the other team's game because you let that impact your skill set. Oh,
lovely
great
bid.
Yeah, and then Lally making quick work of that. Lally there. He had an option but didn't take it. And then quickly down that sideline. That was a very quick point. Alex Gann to Kevin Dang there.
And Slice do frantic so well, don't they?
They have been doing that quick, frantic movement like a hot potato.
It's incredible to watch. It's actually lovely to watch as well. You can see it there on some of our replays as Slice now call their line.
It's hard when offense gets that like running give-go movement, as we see just here on the replay. Beautiful bid there, but misses it. That running give-go movement can be very hard for defense to get in front of, to get into, to stop. Because once they get that momentum, you're always on the back foot slightly behind them. And as we saw there, once they had that momentum, the defense was not even a part of that point.
Like, I think about 10 players had the disc in hand, and it happened over the course of 5 seconds. That's how quickly they get and release the disc. And that, as you just said, is so hard to stop. That give-go, just their small ball is smaller than small ball. I don't know what I want to call it, but it is just precise. They know what they're doing. They know what they can read each other's minds. There's flow upon flow upon flow that just happens with this slice team. And it's beautiful to watch. I've got to say, it is beautiful to watch. But that's not Krank. And so while Yuki has the best of intentions to talk about let's lift the intensity, they have to lift the intensity in a different way that suits their style. That's Krank, what they have to do.
Absolutely right. So John O'Kee's absolute anchor of this offense. Faulkner saying over and over again. Ferguson, Webster, same boys doing all the heavy lifting here. Nice dump around the back to Ferguson. He wanted to hit the brake side but wasn't. But there he is. It's Ryan, sorry. Kobe Ryan looking for Wes Flavel. Very nice backhand break on inside flick. That was a spicy inside flick there.
He'll be wondering why he pulled the trigger on that one when the D was so easy. Just had eyes for the receiver only and didn't look around.
That was, yeah, he saw the open, receiver and just did not see the defense coming in.
I have a feeling he was set up for that actually by the defensive players.
Potentially, he poached it a bit.
He just said, look, I'll give you that space knowing that I can get the D if it gets thrown to you. And even though it was on a zip line, it was one of the easier Ds that you'll see. He could have caught it, but he just threw it in, put it into the ground, and it paid off.
So Sunder sliced right in, we're in the back of the end zone there, really pushed back, but it was a very nice break side flick out to save them there from Cheng. On that top sideline now. Oh, towed in nicely there from Brewis. Oh, maybe not towed in nicely. I think we're potentially having a chat.
Call, no. I don't know where on the field that call came from. Everyone's looking around for confirmation it was in. And no one's willing to make a call at this stage.
And then it's this one here down the line.
Low angle's very hard to see. It looks in.
It looked like the back foot landed first, and that would make it in. Oh, they've already moved on though, Phil.
So that's looking at the
very
replay.
Nice D there from Kobe Ryan. He's got Webster going deep, but that's beautiful. Oh, Flavel puts it up. Had a lot of lip on it. Oh.
Now,
Flavel put it up, but just had a lot of lip on it. Far too much lip there.
And I think McClay was the defensive player there, and he actually sold where the disc wasn't, which forced that turnover. Otherwise, it would have been a very easy, clean catch. Nice around there, Slice working it down the field. You can see, again, just a good example there of owning the hand for about half a second. This is about as long as it's ever been in one of the Slice players' hands, and that release just off target there. And it looks like there might have been a bump on that, which might have caused that misalignment of the disc to the receiver.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out what's happened there. Let's see the replay.
Keys in.
Oh, okay. It looks like there was a little bit of contact from Keys there, just as the release from Latamados occurred. So it's if it's whether the contact affected the release on the throw. There was definitely contact. It's whether it affected the throw.
Keys doesn't want to come over. The handler doesn't want to come over.
Latamados is asking for sideline opinion. Like, tell me what happened. Do you think it's?
Let's look here.
There's no doubt. There's no question that there's contact. The question was on the non-throwing arm.
Here we see it again, and they're back in
disc
play.
Is in though. There was. Latamados released the disc, and then there was some more heavy contact between the two boys there. It's getting a bit argy-bargy now as the intensity has increased, and that's the one thing that you've got to be mindful of, is that you can let your intensity increase, but you can't
let certain emotions increase.
That's absolutely right, Phil.
You've got to know which emotions you can level up and which you can't. So you've got to stay within your head. You don't want to get out of your head and get out of the game.
So Ladamatos there, marked by Keys, looks off the opener, faked the scuba, but hits that there. Pick downfield, so disc is going to stay with Ruiz. Just shy of the brick mark. It's very deep stack now from Slice.
Yeah, I think they're just going to work it up through their handlers at the moment.
McClay.
Occasional break from the stack. That one goes over the top, break side. Mile of room here. There's one going out the back. Points early and gets the receive for the score. Slice pulling this game apart, 10-7.
That was a lovely throw from Xavier Black there.
So let's have a look at this hammer over the top. Now, we've got a mile of space Slice has to work. Look at the back there. There's the point. There's not much that can be done. The Krank defender probably should have come over rather than go back to defend, but he chose what he chose, and he'll live by that decision.
Lovely hammer. It dropped perfectly. No mark, could just step out, float the backhand up into space. I mean, what more could you ask for? So the gap in the scoreline is slowly starting to creep out now.
Yeah, and we're at the pointy end of the game as well. We've now reached double digits. Sometimes it can, like, going from 10 to 15 can happen in the blink of an eye.
And at this point in the game, sometimes it no longer is about physically what can you endure, it's about mentally what can you endure. Because when the other team hits double digits, you know that they're starting to knock on the door of closing it out. And you think you've got to start doing the mental math of, well, how many do we have to get back to try and still stay in it, to win it?
And one thing which I'm always interested in psychology, and that Lado Keys matchup now becomes more interesting to me, you know? Who's going to win the battle of the mind in that matchup? Who's going to get in the other person's head? Which they're both key players. They're both great players that can, you know, do some extraordinary things and lift their teams in the right way. But if one of them gets down on themselves, gets in their head without focusing on the match, we see it go up. Krank now knocking at the door.
So Keys back to Cracknell there. He's got Ryan peeling off the stack, looking for options deep, but they're not really providing much. So Keys coming in front for a nice jinky. There's a lot of, Ryan there looking for Faulkner. That was beautiful. A lot more clinical, and you can tell that Krank have stepped it up because the Slice defense is actively bidding because the Krank offense is that one step in front of them now, so they're having to bid to try and get a hand on it. You see there, like, a bit of argy-bargy on that one too. Outstretched bid, like, just missed it, and then Faulkner sells him up the line.
Yeah, that was a nice last throw as well.
And that really shows the intensity of it when defense is starting to actively bid on those types of options, on those throws. That shows just how close it can get. The risk, though, in that is exactly what just happened. I think it was Raiden Cheng on Slice bid on that one there from Kobe Ryan, and because he was now on the ground out of the field, it meant that Ryan now had the ability to step into the backhand and float the inside backhand around the defender, which had the mark been there and the defense been there, the backhand's not an option. You've only got the flick.
Totally.
That was a flick pull.
It was a flick, and as it just hyzes a little bit away, stays in though. So Slice now wanting to just hold at the moment. They don't want to have a break on this point and lose another point, because then all that good work they've done up until now will be lost. As it works down the high side, nice inside flick there, comes around, and that's a little bit open. Really cut back to the other side. They settle it down. Asking, directing.
Gan's got it now. Looking to Lally. Same names over again. The core group. That's very nice. Inside break to the front of the stack to Cheng. Goes back to Gan, and Cheng immediately trying to provide option. Nice switch there from the defense, but Gan hits the inside flick again. That was an absolutely phenomenal backhand to Alex Gan for the goal.
Perfect placement on a dime. Needed to be where it needed to be and was there. That was really lovely to see. And just the communication between those two.
Absolutely.
Next level. They saw it all develop. They saw that switch happen. Here we go here. Here's that switch. There's the throw. There's the up the line. Everyone's out of place. Look at that placement. Just nice float coming back into the player as he's running upfield. Like,
it was like, if you look at the face of the disc as well. So yeah, dumped again, that inside flick again. Look at the face of the disc. Like the amount of angle that had on it.
It just came back
almost
to him
like,
as though it was thrown from the other direction.
Yes. Almost like a boomerang in a way. Like it came back to almost towards the direction, because the amount of facing on that disc to keep it upright, like the control. Oh, I loved that, Phil. That was phenomenal.
And especially given that the wind was actually coming from behind them. So to do that, just exceptional.
Absolutely. And so interesting stats there is that Alex Gan and Braden Chen, 2 assists, 2 goals apiece from them as well. So they're not just throwing goals, they're scoring them.
Yeah, that's good work.
So John O'Kee's doing really hard work here, playing like almost every point at the moment, trying to get this one back.
I think so.
He's on the field directing as well, pointing. So Faulkner with it, he's pointing. Keys is getting out of there. Ferguson now. There's Keys getting involved. He's got Webster. They're really opening up the field now. He's got Flavel going deep, but he's not using it. Oh, nice fake there from Keys. Faulkner, that's a great bid there from McClay. Keys, now they're happy to concede space on this. That's Deacon Scott, Faulkner, Keys, Booth, Keys. He's got Booth nice and open though. Faulkner on this sideline now, but they all flood the same space, which just means that you actually can't throw it there. So Keys now, Flavel getting involved. Oh, bobble, but inside Ferguson keeps it alive. They're trying to find an option, but he cannot find anything that's caught there by Deacon Scott from Ferguson. Very similarly shaped backhand, though.
Very similar, short amount of space to throw it in, but yeah, I mean, they got there in the end. I think they did it the hard way, but they got there in the end. Wasn't necessarily pretty the last few throws, especially with that bobble. But they get the point, which they needed.
Absolutely. It was very interesting throughout multiple stages of that point, though, of that play. I think at one stage we saw they managed to get dump, swing off, get a nice gain into Faulkner on this close sideline, not far from the end zone. Then 3 people flooded the space.
Yeah.
And when you've got 3 people in the space, you suddenly have no space and you can't throw that. So he had to dump it and try and move it back again. You need to increase the level of communication between your teammates. And I think we all know that when we're at a point in the game where maybe mentally you're starting to drop, the fatigue is starting to set in, the communication and the use of your voice is one thing that absolutely drops very quickly, but you need to keep that alive, because if you can't communicate with your teammates about where you are going or who's moving where, then a lot of your passage of plays actually start to readily break down.
I actually haven't taken much notice of the system, if they have a system, and I imagine they would have a system given Yuki's coaching, of where they're cutting from, who's the cutter in those situations. Like you said, occasionally there's 2 people cutting into the same space, and then there's none. And so there seems to be a bit of confusion about who has the lead cut, who has the first cut in that situation. So they just need to straighten that one out and get on the same page as we come back to the live action.
So Cheng now, it's a very big mark, very good mark. So Hodgson again on this close sideline now. That's with Honey, back to Gan. Hodgson now dumping it back to Gan. Very happy to just move it amongst themselves, dump and swing back. Honey now, Gan again.
Oh,
and
misread.
a nice D.
Honey went up the line but stopped short, and the communication again, one of those things that lets them down. Speaking of communication, we have a quick immediate turn, although that could be called back. I couldn't quite see what happened there either, but all
It
players
looks like
stationary.
it's going to be contentious. Here we see that, so we've had a foul called from Kieran Stoddart on Max Hodgson. Whether or not...
Did that affect anything?
Whether or not they feel that the contact affected the ability to make a play at the disc. Although my opinion is that Hodgson was in that space. Hodgson had that space and Stoddart ran into him, and that there was no bid. Like, I don't think that that's a foul. I think that's an unfortunate collision that had no impact on where the disc lay.
Looks like it's going to stay as a turn. They're tapping the ground and leaving the disc where it is, so we will resume play as though that's a double turn. And so now the disc goes up from slice, and that is quite an easy catch in the end by Cheng.
So very, very quick use and quick, putting that one in there. And when you've had a couple of turnovers like that as well, you're just like, all right, let's just get it in. Let's just score. Let's just get it done. And then we'll kind of restart the next one.
Yeah. So I honestly thought Krank could have got that D then, but then Cheng just sort of like brought it down. I didn't realise myself how easy that was going to be for him.
Oh, it was just done so quickly as well. The Krank defence looked like they were caught on the back foot. They just hadn't quite switched on and adjusted fast enough, which we see happen all the time as well. As soon as there's a turnover, you have to switch on quickly, because the offense is already making moves to look and see.
And this offense in particular is making those moves quickly.
Absolutely.
And I think it lulled them. I think actually that Krank were drawn into a false sense. They were lulled because half a dozen slice players tapped the ground and walked slowly to the disc. But as soon as the disc was picked up,
they moved very
action
quickly.
Straight away.
Yes. And that can be deceiving. If you think that they're moving slowly, you think that you've got a bit more time. And I don't know, maybe that's part of the the lesson learned there, is that you've got to go quickly, because they're not gonna give you time to adjust.
So this one looking like it's gonna go out, and it will. Brick is called.
Only the second brick of the game.
Only the second, yeah. Did Krank have the first one?
I can't recall.
Can't remember.
It was out over. Just know it was over that sideline.
It's the other side. But again, wind played a part in both of them. The foot gets planted. Krank looking around, bring up the high side, and that was too quick. Nothing called on that play. Now we'll get that quick turn by Slice. almost looking
Whoa.
off balance and a bit too quick there.
A bit frantic. Ferguson back to Faulkner. He's got Flavel, doesn't take it. There is I think a foul.
Contact, there's contact. Yeah, he's frustrated. Frustrated at the marker. Feels as though he moved through him a bit. He's showing that with his body language, but then the thrower also just, as we see so often, they try and show each other what actually happened, and I think we'll have to agree that we're not going to get a consensus on this one other than there was a bump and it will have to come back in.
So I think what I can hear is that I think the mark called contact, and so is saying that the stall count should have just restarted, but I think the mark also called a foul at the same time.
I missed that.
Which is where the discussion came from. But we're there, we've got it moving, we've got Keys. Ferguson took a little bump there, Faulkner's come back. He goes back to Keys. Handler's happy to just move it between themselves at the moment. There has been another call of contact just at the front of the stack there. I think Ferguson and Jamboya, hope I pronounced that correctly, apologies. Uncontested foul, it looks like, so the stall count's going to reset. Almost looks like an ISO there, an unexpected ISO, which worked out well for them. Ferguson, he went to hit it but didn't. Moves it quickly. Keys now. We've got Cracknell there. He's looking for Keys. Oh, got up high there, went upstairs for that one. Faulkner back quickly to Keys. Cracknell calling the hammer. And then comes open side and toes that one in.
There's a nice passage of play there in the end by Krank, and they're slowly winding this one back now. So the score is 10-12, I believe. So really trying to take control back from this Slice team, so they at least get themselves half a chance when it comes to the really pointy end. When they're at the 13-14 sort of mark, they want to be within that one, within that striking distance. 2's a lot easier to get in a row than 3.
Well, absolutely, because mentally, two is,
1 point back to back.
1 point back to back.
As a player, 1 point back to back is gettable. 3 points back to back, if in the context of the game that you've played, whether that's gettable
Absolutely.
or not with momentum. And I don't feel that either team has strong momentum at the moment. So it is being played on a point-by-point basis. We're still of that mindset that we're trading. And it's really about working for that break.
Absolutely. Keys is absolutely anchoring the Krank offense, though. Every second pass he's getting at the moment. And it's already day 2. Sorry, it's game 2 of day 1, and he's already having to put in that level of work. But they have such a big roster as well. At what point do you have to say, like, he's doing too much in a way?
Yeah. No, I get that. And you could definitely see, I agree with you, he's doing a lot of directing when he has that disc in his hand. He's holding it when necessary. That was just running in a little bit too hard. Probably could have seen that coming a little bit earlier and pulled out.
I think Nick Hodson almost looked like he gave Nick Lally there a punch in the ribs. I think he's taken an injury.
Yeah, he wanted to slow down and hold him. You can see that there's... I think he
might be slightly tacoed as well.
Yeah, I can see here he's running, and I think it was more of a try and hold. I don't think it was intentional, obviously. But
Nick Hodson taking a sub as well, and now we've got the Keys Ladamatis matchup that we were
talking about earlier.
Wanted to talk about earlier.
Let's see how that goes.
So So Latamatos centres it, finds Gan. He's got Chen on that top sideline now, centres back to Gan. He's got Dang here. Not much happening downfield. There's Yang, back to Gan. He's got Honey. Latamatos, nice big gainer on that top side. Hick in the stack. Yang providing an option, but he's got close coverage. Concedes ground to Gan. He's got Hodgson on a nice big cross field. Latamatos giving a shake and bake, but not open on the break. Gan trying to get free, but he's well covered there, but gets free on Callum Conway. Oh, step around, but can't get it off, so has to open side dump it to Chang. He's pointing to try and direct traffic. Finds Honey on the top sideline. Nice gainer. Gan coming back. Concedes ground again on the dump. Had Cheng open but didn't take it. There's Yang. He's got a big mark on mismatch on the, but gets low for the dump. Hodgson now. Latamatos trying to get free. But there's Dang again, directing traffic. Oh, big fake. Gan coming on the under. Nice inside, and Gan gets it, although I think it was for Latamatos. Oh, that's a beautiful flick.
Ooh.
But too far, too much, too spicy.
So Slice doing a lot of circle work on that far side for quite some time to try and find an opening. They eventually got that, but that one just a little bit out of reach, a little bit too far. I thought he was going to reel it in about that point there, but yeah, just had to let it go. I think the end zone, the back of the end zone, looming up too large too quickly on that one. Okay, let's see what Krank can do. As it is brought up to the front of the end zone. Nice little cheeky throw there. Miles of space there. That is by Lavis. Up the line again. Nice catch. Velthius.
Oh, beautiful flick. Holy dooly, that was pretty.
That was crisp. That was crisp. And Keys will be happy with that one.
And John O'Kee's on the receiving end of that one now. We haven't seen that one too many times.
No. He definitely celebrated that one.
Yeah, absolutely. We hadn't seen Connor Vathulius. I haven't really spoken much of him in this game. But, I mean, what a way to stamp your mark. He's, like, caught this one sliding out of the field. Kind of went to wind it up, took a second, assessed the option, and then absolutely bombed it again. John O'Kee's under it, and the defender, the angle that the disc came in, the defender was not in the right positioning.
No, definitely caught out there.
Yeah, had to look over, I think looked over the wrong shoulder. The defender looked over the right shoulder, his right shoulder, if you see it there, and just completely caught off guard. I think that's been my favourite when I'm the backhand from Braden Cheng.
Yeah.
That was probably my favourite flick of the game. Braden Chen's backhand, that one was money.
So talking before about 1 point at a time, and that really exemplified it. A lot of spirit in that point to get it back, to make the scores more even. We've got 11-12 at the moment. As Krank will pull, gives Slice another shot at the win, but can Krank pull out another defensive moment to even this up?
Oh, he's got Dennis Tran.
It's going to die way too early.
And
Wind picks up, pushes it into the ground. And so Krank now feeling like they've got Slice where they want them. I'm actually now starting to feel that momentum, which I was talking about earlier, which was lacking from one team, and Krank now feeling like they have the momentum. Slice feeling as though they're falling apart a little bit at the seams. Not totally at the moment, but just a little few cracks. And that's got beautiful float on it. That's perfect. That's what Krank are after. They're lifting, they're cheering, they're all running on. They're celebrating. This is the lift that they want.
And I'll tell you what, Nick Hodson just turned around and said, anything you can do, I can do better, to his own teammate.
There's the swim.
There's
the swim.
Tom Bissett again.
What does that mean?
I don't, I'll find
Please
out.
write in the
I'll
chat
find out.
if you know.
I'll get the money, I'll get the inside info on that one. Apologies, we don't seem to have the name of the receiver on our team list. I'll endeavour to ask the question and we'll figure out who that is so we can keep you up to date. But that was absolutely beautiful.
That was
throw.
lovely. Look at that again. Just there. Floats. It's over his head. It's not necessarily what we'd call the best throw in terms of positioning.
All right, so Koi Tran there with the goal, just clarified that one. So it's back to 12 all. Like, very well done from Krank there on that defense.
Slice would be feeling under a bit of pressure now. And speaking of pressure.
Was that a D? Was that a turn?
Oh, I think that, I didn't see the hand in there. I felt it was a...
There was a lot of people in the short space, so it wasn't quite clear what was going on. And then everyone's run away, so I can only assume.
I wouldn't say it's a cold drop, but if anything, it was definitely a pressured catch to drop.
Oh, is that?
We're going to have a bit of feeling in this game now. We reached the pointy end. We're going to get a few more of the calls coming out. He's pointing to the TV.
Oh, he's pointing, asking for the replay.
He wants to know, do we have an overhead of this?
All right. Give us a second.
This comes in, and that looked in to me.
We're calling it a goal from commentary.
Can they listen to us? I don't know. It looked in. Yeah, they're yelling. Not necessarily all in for the commentators having to make the call, but
they were welcome to come in. They were welcome to come and review it
exactly,
themselves.
They're happy with our judgment there, and I think it was fairly clear on the evidence we had on the screen in front of us.
It was up on the toe.
Yeah.
You could clearly see the line in front of the toe.
Yeah.
Not where I expected this game to be. I'd say probably 5 points ago.
Yeah.
Phil.
Even 5 minutes ago. Exactly. But Krank have done everything they needed to do to get into this position. And kudos to them. Congratulations to them for working out the formula that was needed to get them here.
Absolutely. I think that is a lot of what it is that you play to your structures, you play to what you want to do as a team, but inevitably you're going to come across another team that is able to shut that down.
Yeah.
They take away the options, they take away what you trained and what you want to do, and you have to be adaptable, you have to be flexible in the moment. And if you aren't and you can't adapt to that, that's the downfall of your game.
I feel part of that is they had to work out what their frantic style looks like. Initially they didn't know and it wasn't working for them. Now I feel as though they've settled and they realise, this is what frantic looks like for us, and they put themselves in a winning position.
Absolutely. So Sunder now, Latamatos winds it but doesn't take it. Dang. Got Cheng under but looks him off. Centres to Ladamatos again. Lally, who's back in the game now. He's got Tran there. Assessing options, Ladamatos. There's Lally again. You can hear the sidelines getting really into it. They're trying to lift, trying to provide so much more input.
And it's Krank that's giving the sideline voice. I'm not hearing any Slice players on the sideline.
Cheng, he's got Gan deep. Gan outside of the handler space now. A little bit of a jinky movement, trying to get it back to the dump. Lally, probably another one. Conceding a bit more ground again, but happy to do so if it means maintaining possession. Looks the inside, can't hit it, takes the open. Dang trying to direct space. Lally's going to get up. Oh, he looked like he was going to hit the big, but didn't. Ladamatos coming under for the nice flick. Lally's going deep. Is he going to put it? He doesn't put it. He goes around, takes space out to Cheng. Wanted to hit Dang, but didn't. Tran snapping that one out. Again, inside. Lally coming back in. Very argy-bargy on that one again. There's
There'll be a call on that one.
Oh, there was a call. There was some movement.
So stopped.
Bring it back, boys. There was a travel called.
Stopped a long time ago.
Disc needs to come back.
Can't really have a turn because it did really stop back when this call was made.
So to clarify the rule for anyone on the stream who isn't quite aware, there was a travel called on the throw from Nick Lally, and because the throw Nick Lally put up was a completed pass, the disc should return. However, the discussion would be now if you retract the travel call or not, because it was a turnover. But I mean, then I think that question that brings your spirit of the game into question potentially.
It does. I'm not even too sure it was a travel call, but it probably was. I'll go with you with that one at the moment. But I was watching them on that, and they were just discussing it. They had both stopped. There was no indication that it was retracted. Play on. The disc was caught by the next person. It was then thrown. I think that was the throwaway after that. But as far as play, there was a call. It was stopped. Comes back anyway. Slice bring out
the play here. Lally, Dang. They're greatly wanting to use that break side space. And Dang. No movement downfield. They've got to provide themselves some options here. Make it a bit easier. Lally, there's Gang getting involved. Looking. He just keeps it in. A little jinky little backhand to Nick Lally there.
And
there's a call.
Not too sure
Is that
what's
correct?
happening. Someone, and I think it's Tran that's making motions as to something that he thinks might have happened.
So we see. No, we're not seeing what's going on there. Oh, so it's gone back to Gan. The disc has gone back to Alex Gan now. On that close end zone corner. Marked by Lucas Love. Lally gets the break off. Dang wanted him. Cheng was in space, but not viable option. Lally almost goes the inside, back to Dang. Pointing, he's trying to direct traffic. Gan there, marks off. Resets. Oh, beautiful. That was
and a collision at the end there.
Which both boys are up.
It won't affect anything, but they're both up, which is good to see. So Slice bring it back 13 apiece.
13 apiece.
We're in for a ripper
Honestly,
ending. We are in for a ripper ending.
Ripper ending. I love games like this where, not where you count a team out, but where as we said earlier, it was I think 10-7, and you reach a point in the game where you start to think that it's not feasible. It's going to be hard work for them to lift and bring that back, but they've done it, 13 all. So when you think about the turnaround to get to this point, Krank have scored 6 to Sunder's 3.
Yeah.
And that's a
massive
big,
turnaround.
That's a massive turnaround. And mentally as well, like Krank coming into the last 2, possibly 3 points of the game, or maximum three points of the game that's left. You're feeling really good about yourself. We've just scored 6 points to their 3. Absolutely, we can do this. And when you think about the flip side of that, Sunder will be starting to get in their own heads. And as we said before, the Krank sideline is getting rowdy because they really want this. And you can see that Sunder are maybe now starting to second guess themselves because they're not as loud. They're dropping their heads a bit. They're going to be starting to question things. Should I have done that differently? And you start to overthink it a bit more, and that can be your downfall, unfortunately.
And I really love Krank's sideline here. However, I also feel that that's not necessarily Slice's style. I don't get the feeling that Slice would ever have a loud sideline. So I don't think that's necessarily detrimental to them, although I'd love to see it. Not detrimental, I'd love to see their sideline get in is what I mean, get up and really buoy the rest of the team that are playing on the field. Feelings, emotions. I love the fact that both teams, you can feel it's palpable, just the emotions that are on the field and coming through. My hope is that they don't play too much of a role negatively as we enter these last potential 3 points. I want to see the emotions high. I want to see them riding that high, lifting their teams cheering and getting right to that end line. That's what I want to see. I think we'll see that. I really do.
Couldn't agree more, Phil. It's a perfect way to end a game, and a really hard-fought game. And John O'Keefe, Faulkner, has been saying it all game, those two. Faulkner absolutely jacks it up. Kobe Ryan underneath it. Oh,
is that a statement or what?
Quick work of that one, my God.
And look at them, they're all on the ground now. Look at that. Swimming.
Oh, they're all swimming. That's that's part of the female contingency of Wollongong Krank. Their women's team, usually known as Surge, however, have merged with the Adelaide, part of the Adelaide women's team, Zig Theory. So this year they have called themselves Zurge. But that is the Wollongong women's team. They're watching their boys play along and getting in amongst the swimming action. We'll need to get the inside word on what exactly that means.
911 on that.
I mean, that's a conservation of energy almost at this point in the game. Wollongong had to work so hard to get those 6 points back. And so why make it harder for yourself at this point in time?
Exactly. So potentially one more point. They do need to get the break first of all to settle it. Slice under pressure at the moment. There's no other way of looking at it. They must score this to stay alive.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited. What a cracking game.
We have been in for a treat there.
Massive pull.
Deep in the end zone, back of the end zone, brings it in down the sideline.
Hodgson was asking Gann to come in. Oh, he's done the same thing. He's done it as well.
Anything you can do.
I can do better. We have a universe point game on our hands.
Big smile on my face at the moment.
Oh,
this is awesome. I love these types of games.
Phenomenal Frisbee. This is the type of Frisbee that you want to see on a live stream.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right? There is no better Frisbee to see on these games than tight games with amazing throws, amazing plays. Oh, perfect day for it. What more could you ask for?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Wind just picked up.
Okay, both teams now at their respective end zones, calling their lines like their lives depend on it.
Absolutely, and at this point in the game, you don't want to be changing anything because you've obviously played extremely well to get to this point of Universe Point. And so you just have to continue playing your game and not get caught up in the franticness of the other team.
So let's watch this pull. Let's see where it lands. Let's watch the rundown. Let's see the setup of the Krank team as well. This is going to tell us a lot about the story that will unfold within the next, I suspect, 1 to 2 minutes.
Absolutely.
Hand goes up. Disc goes up. It's low, it's flat. It's not going to hang for too long. It lands. There'll be at least 1 or 2 throws that get off before the defenders come down. It's now in your hands.
So Faulkner, he was looking for Keys, but Keys was well covered. So he's got Ferguson now. Faulkner clears out. Opts to hit Keys. There is a pick call down the field though. Jake Upton started streaming down this close sideline as John O'Keefe was receiving there. I think almost wanting to provide that deep option, and now that momentum has been cinched away. Self-tapped in from Keys. Oh, he fakes the big though. Yes. Webster coming in, goes around to Ferguson on that top sideline. Very deep stack there. Kobe Ryan. Oh, goes and finds Faulkner. Well received. Little quick one back to Keys, to Faulkner, to Ryan. Overlooks Upton. Keys into the space, gives him a little jinky one. There was lots of defenders in the space there. Keys trying to direct some traffic. Nice inside backhand. Faulkner, Keys, Upton. It's very frantic through the center of the field. Ferguson now at the brick mark. Nice inside backhand. Tran bids. Kobe Ryan goes back to Ferguson, looking for Keys. Goes the backhand around, back to Ferguson again. He's got Faulkner open. Opts to take it. No dump now. Doesn't dish it. Had the option but didn't. Markers set in. Assessing his options. Nice around backhand to Ryan. He's trying to find something that's very messy in the stack. Scored there by Thomas Webster. What an end.
What an end. And look at that screen. Doesn't that tell you the story of how hard both of these teams have worked for that? Blue in, I wouldn't say total devastation, but it's very close to that state. Red celebrating like there's no tomorrow. They've just you might as well say they've won the tournament with the way they're celebrating at the moment. But we are only game 2 in at the moment. But Krank do take out this victory. They take the win over Slice and do that in style and universe. They fought for that one, as you said. They got 6 out of about 9 points at one stage to get it back. They traded for a while to bring it to 14, ended up Universe Point, trading, and finally get that one in, as you just saw then on your screens. Any final thoughts and comments about this match before we go to the next one, Oaks?
It was just really well fought, and 10 points ago, I don't think this was the outcome we were going to expect, but it's absolutely the outcome that I wanted.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful work.
Thanks to those on the stream for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you here. We hope you join in again for the rest of the day and the rest of the games we're bringing to you. Thanks so much, Phil.
No worries. Thank you very much.
ULTI.TV